9 used Lexus cars that outlast brand new German cars. Just spend $80,000 on a brand new German luxury car. You didn't buy luxury, you bought a payment plan for repairs you don't see coming. And that's where the regret starts. Because these 9 used Lexus, some of them are running over 300,000 miles on the original engine. No turbos, no air suspension bills, no surprises. Stay with me. This video will save you more money than you think. Owner data, consumer reports, real-world reliability records. No hype, just the numbers. Let's get into it. Car number 9, Lexus NX4 50H Plus versus BMW X 330e, starting around $38,000 used. This is already where most people make a smarter decision than buying new German. And we're only getting started. This is where the smart buyers quietly walk away from German cars. The BMW X 330e, plug-in hybrid, turbocharged 4-cylinder, German-engineered complexity, wrapped in a premium badge. And after 60,000 miles, that turbo starts talking, loudly, expensively. And this is where ownership quietly turns against you. The Lexus NX4 50H Plus runs Toyota's 2.5-liter hybrid architecture. This system has already survived millions of miles before it ever got into this car. No turbo, no wastegate, no $2,000 intercooler surprises, 37 miles of pure electric range, regular gas when you need it. For most daily commutes, you may not touch the gas engine for days. Best years, 2022 and newer. What to watch? Early infotainment responsiveness on first builds. Minor, not a deal breaker. Used BMW X 330e comparable, $45,000. Used NX 45OH Plus, $38,000. That's $7,000 back in your pocket before fuel and repairs. Regular gas, not premium. Remember that. Bottom line, the NX 45OH Plus is the entry point into used Lexus ownership that already beats the German alternative on cost, reliability, and long-term peace of mind. And if you think this is just a hybrid story, wait until you see what happens next. Car number 8, Lexus ES 350 versus BMW 5 Series/Mercedes E-Class. Starting around $28,000 used. This one is going to make some BMW 5 Series owners very uncomfortable. The ES 350 doesn't look like a threat. Quiet, understated, almost invisible. That's exactly why it's dangerous. Under the hood, a 3.5-liter 2GR-FKS V6, naturally aspirated, 8-speed automatic that shifts like water. The BMW 5 Series of the same era, N24-cylinder turbo. Timing chain tensioner failures, oil consumption, coolant leaks. This is where the ownership turns, and suddenly your luxury car is sitting in a workshop while you're paying for a rental. The ES 350. Owner reports of 200,000 miles, described consistently as bulletproof. Target years, 2013 to 2018. That's your sweet spot. One warning, ES models from 2007 to 2012. Cold start V/TI gear rattle. Hydraulic steering rack leaks. Walk away from those. The 2013 and newer move to electric power steering. Problem solved. Used BMW 5 Series comparable, $32,000 to $38,000. Premium fuel required. Used ES 350, $28,000. Regular gas. Here's the reality. The ES 350 was what the BMW 5 Series pretends to be. Refined, reliable, and built to last. For $28,000 used, this is one of the smartest luxury sedan purchases in 2026. E-Class owners, we'll get to Mercedes, but it gets a lot more interesting from here. Car number 7, Lexus RX 450H versus Mercedes GLE 450 Hybrid, starting around $32,000 used. Number 7, and this is where ownership becomes easy, and German ownership becomes expensive. The Mercedes GLE 450 Hybrid, beautiful machine, turbocharged inline-6, air suspension. Each one of those words is a future repair bill, waiting to introduce itself. Now meet the RX 450H, Toyota's hybrid system, proven over a decade of real-world punishment. Owners reporting 10, 12 years of ownership with 0 battery replacement, 0. Regenerative braking means your brake pads last significantly longer than any conventional vehicle. Less brake wear, less maintenance, less money leaving your account every single month. Real-world fuel economy, 30 miles per gallon in a luxury SUV. The GLE 450, premium fuel, more complexity, higher running costs every single month. Best years 2009 to 2015, pre-turbo era, maximum simplicity, maximum reliability. What to watch? Inverter coolant service around 100,000 miles. Budget $300, that's it. Used GLE 450, comparable, $45,000 to $52,000. Used RX 450H, $32,000. Up to $20,000 difference before you factor in fuel and maintenance over 5 years. What this really means, the RX 450H doesn't just save you fuel, it saves your entire ownership experience. The GLE looks better on paper. The RX wins in real life every single time. Would you rather have the GLE badge or the RX reliability? Drop it in the comments. I already know what most of you are going to say. Car number 6, Lexus IS 350 versus BMW 3 Series/Audi A4. Starting around $25,000 used. Here's the mistake most people make. They see the IS 350 and they compare it to the BMW 3 Series on a spec sheet. 0 to 60, horsepower, lap times. That's the wrong comparison. The right comparison is, which one is still running at 200,000 miles without drama? The IS 350, rear-wheel drive, 3.5-liter 2GR-FS EV6, naturally aspirated, 311 horsepower, one of the last naturally aspirated sports sedans still standing. While BMW was stuffing turbocharged 4 cylinders into the 3 Series, and Audi was engineering complexity into every corner of the A4, Lexus kept it simple, kept it mechanical, kept it honest. And owners drove IS 350S to 300,000 miles on the original engine. The BMW 330 IB48 engine, improved over the N20, yes, but still a turbocharged 4-cylinder, still premium fuel only, still dependent on cooling system integrity that degrades with age. The IS 350, regular gas, proven V6, a transmission that simply refuses to quit. One critical warning, and this matters. Avoid the IS 250 and GS 250 with the 4GR-FSE engine. Direct injection only, carbon buildup, long-term pain. The IS 350 is the one you want. Write that down. Best years 2006 to 2020. The naturally aspirated V6 runs the entire generation. Used BMW 330i comparable, $28,000 to $34,000. Used IS 350, $25,000. Regular gas. Bottom line, the IS 350 is the thinking person's sports sedan. It won't outcorner a BMW on a track, but it will outlast one in your driveway by a significant margin. If your IS 350 has crossed 200,000 miles, post your odometer below. Let's show the BMW crowd what longevity actually looks like. Car number 5, Lexus GX 460 versus Range Rover Sport BMW X5, starting around $35,000 used. And right here, the video shifts. Let me tell you a story. A man buys a Range Rover Sport, loaded, beautiful, everything he wanted. At 72,000 miles, the air suspension compressor fails. $2,200. At 84,000 miles, the turbo starts burning oil. Another $3,800. At 91,000 miles, he trades it in, takes a loss, walks away exhausted. His neighbor bought a used GX 460 the same year. Body on frame, Land Cruiser Prado bones, 4.6-liter 1UR-FE V8, naturally aspirated, 3 locking differentials. That GX is still in the driveway, 187,000 miles. Not a single major repair. That's not a coincidence. That's engineering philosophy. Over 11% of GX 460 owners keep theirs for 15 years or more. That number doesn't exist for Range Rover. It doesn't exist for the BMW X5. The BMW X5 with the N63 V8, notorious. Oil consumption, injector failures, timing chain issues, The N63 earned its own nickname among mechanics. Not a flattering one. Best years 2010 to present. Consistent across the entire generation. One warning, check the frame and windshield surround for rust, especially in northern states. Rust is the only thing that stops a GX 460. Everything else is fixable. Used Range Rover Sport comparable, $42,000 to $55,000. Used BMW X5N63, $35,000 to $45,000, and falling for a reason. Used GX 460, $35,000. Bottom line, the GX 460 quietly embarrasses luxury SUVs that cost twice as much. It's not the flashiest thing on this list, it's the most dependable. And in 2026, dependable is the new luxury. GX 460 owners, how many miles are you sitting on? Drop it below. And Range Rover owners, you know I'm right. And now we get into the cars that change how people buy luxury entirely. Car number 4, Lexus GS 350 versus BMW 5 Series/Audi A6. Starting around $22,000 used. Number 4, the most underestimated Lexus ever built. And this is where the gap becomes impossible to ignore. The GS 350, rear-wheel drive, 3.5-liter 2GR-FKS V6, 311 horsepower, 8-speed automatic. Owners at 180,000 miles still describing it as planted, tight, and right. The Audi A6 with the 3.0T supercharged V6. Genuinely impressive engine. But the carbon buildup, the timing chain, tensioner, the DSG service intervals that dealers conveniently forget to mention, and the air suspension on higher trims. This is where the ownership turns. Workshop visits that start to feel like a second mortgage. The GS 350 was called the BMW killer when it launched, not because it outperformed the 5 Series on a track, but because it outlasted it in real life. Best years 2013 to 2020. The 2GR-FKS is the engine you want. What to watch? Minor oil seepage around valve cover gaskets after 100,000 miles. Budget $400 to $600. That is the most expensive thing that typically goes wrong. Used Audi A6 3.0T comparable, $28,000 to $36,000. Used BMW 535E comparable, $25,000 to $32,000. Used GS 350, $22,000. Regular gas. Here's the reality. The GS 350 gives you rear-wheel drive dynamics, a proven V6, and long-term reliability, at a price that makes the German competition look embarrassing. This is the sleeper pick of 2026. A 6 owners. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. I'll wait. Car number 3, Lexus LX 570 versus Mercedes GLS BMW X7. Starting around $55,000 used, and we're done playing around. The LX 570, Land Cruiser DNA, 5.7-liter 3UR-DEF EV8, 381 horsepower, 3 locking differentials, 8 passengers, built to survive conditions that would strand a Mercedes GLS on the side of the road. The Mercedes GLS 580, twin-turbocharged V8, air suspension, massaging seats, a masterpiece for the first owner. Because after 80,000 miles, the turbo seals, the air suspension compressors, and the electronic systems start competing for your attention and your money. The BMW X7 with the N63 V8, we already covered that engine. You know how that story ends. The LX 570 is different. This is a vehicle people pass down to their children, not because it's cheap, but because it simply does not stop working. Best years 2008 to 2021. The 3UR-DEF EV8 is one of the most proven engines ever built. What to watch? Fuel economy. The LX 570 is not efficient, budget for it. And check the frame for rust in high salt states. Same rule as the GX. Check it, walk away if it's there. Used Mercedes GLS 580 comparable, $72,000 to $85,000. Used BMW X7X Drive 50i comparable, $58,000 to $70,000. Used LX 570, $55,000. And it will still be running when both of those are sitting in a repair shop. What this really means? The LX 570 is a luxury tank. Not the most refined thing on this list, the most indestructible. If you need a large luxury SUV that will never let you down, this is the one. Full stop. LX owners, has this truck ever left you stranded? Drop it in the comments. I think we already know the answer. Car number 2, Lexus RX 350 versus BMW X5/Mercedes GLE, starting around $22,000 used. Number 2, the most documented proof on this entire list, the RX 350, 3.5-liter 2GR FEV6, naturally aspirated. Owners reporting 280,000 to 300,000 miles. On the original engine, on the original transmission, with nothing but scheduled maintenance. The BMW X5 with the N20 or N63, you already know the story. The Mercedes GLE 350, turbocharged 4-cylinder, premium fuel required, costs $6,000 more used than a comparable RX 350. And that turbo will introduce itself to your wallet somewhere around mile 90,000. The RX 350 takes regular gas. Let that sink in. A luxury SUV, regular gas. 300,000 miles, original engine. Best years, 2010 to 2015. The 2GR FE in this generation is one of the most proven engines in automotive history. What to watch? Minor oil consumption after 150,000 miles. Check the dipstick. Everything else just works. Used Mercedes GLE 350 comparable, $28,000 to $35,000. Used BMW X5 comparable, $26,000 to $34,000. Used RX 350, $22,000. Bottom line, the RX 350 is the single most documented proof that used Lexus ownership destroys new German ownership on every metric that matters. Cost, reliability, longevity. This is not an opinion. This is owner data. RX 350 owners, post your mileage right now in the comments. Let's build the evidence wall. Car number 1, Lexus LS 430 versus Mercedes S-Class/BMW 7 Series, starting around $12,000 used. Number 1, and this is the one that changes everything. The Lexus LS 430, built between 2001 and 2006. Documented, not rumored, documented, at 600,000 miles. Some examples approaching 1 million miles on a luxury sedan. The Mercedes S-Class of the same era. Magnificent engineering, airmatic suspension, V8 refinement, and an ownership experience after 100,000 miles that has humbled some of the wealthiest people in America. Airmatic compressor failures, a BC suspension costs, electronic complexity that multiplies with every passing year. A cheap S-Class is one of the most expensive cars you can own. Remember that. The BMW 7 Series with the N62 V8, valve stem seals, coolant system failures, electronic gremlins that never fully go away. Beautiful car, brutal ownership. The LS 430 runs a 4.3-liter 3U ZFE V8, naturally aspirated, silky smooth, virtually indestructible. When it launched, automotive journalists said it embarrassed the S-Class. Not in performance, in quality, in the feeling that every surface, every system, every component was built to last. And it was. Best years, 2001 to 2006. The entire generation is strong. What to watch? Minor oil seepage from valve cover gaskets. Budget $500. That is genuinely the most common complaint from high-mileage owners. Used Mercedes S-Class, comparable era, $15,000 to $25,000, and climbing in repair costs. Used BMW 7 Series comparable era, $12,000 to $20,000, same story. Used LS 430, $12,000 to $18,000, and it will outlast both of them, probably twice over. Bottom line, the LS 430 is the greatest argument against buying a new German luxury car ever assembled. For $12,000, you get a vehicle engineered to embarrass the S-Class that kept running long after the S-Class became a repair bill. This is the #1 used Lexus in 2026. It's not close. And that's why some people never go back to German cars again. Screenshot this. Avoid this engine. 4GR-FSE, direct injection only, carbon buildup, walk away. ES sweet spot, 2013 to 2018. ES warning, 2007 to 2012. Inspect carefully or walk away. GX and LX, always check frame rust in northern states. Fuel rule: premium fuel equals higher total cost of ownership. Always factor it in. PPI rule: never skip an independent pre-purchase inspection. Here's the one thing to remember after this video. Never buy a used Lexus without knowing the engine code. And never buy a used German luxury car without knowing what the repair history looks like after warranty. Those two rules will save you more money than anything else I've said today. 9 cars, 1 truth. Used Lexus ownership is one of the smartest financial decisions in the luxury car market in 2026. The Germans build incredible machines for the first owner. These 9 Lexus were built for the long haul. Which one would you buy? Drop it in the comments. And if you've owned one of these, tell me your mileage and your biggest repair bill. I have a feeling most of you won't have much to report. Most people learn this after they've already lost money. Now you don't have to. If this video saved you from a mistake, hit subscribe. We do this every week, and we never waste your time. See you in the next one.